Thursday evening, June the 28th, 1979. Summer camp meeting being held at Lake Hamilton Bible Camp, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Win Worley is the speaker of the evening.
How many of you have never been in a mass deliverance service before? Anybody? Okay, a few of you. Most of you then are familiar with what we're going to do. Let me say, for the benefit of those who have never been in one, it won't hurt you. People are a little apprehensive about that they don't know about. And but a general deliverance service will not hurt anybody. Basically, it's what you would do if a person came to you seeking deliverance, believing they had problems. And what we do, we always do what we call clearing the underbrush, because there are areas that are like underbrush around the trees, and you'll never saw down the trees until you get the underbrush out. The first bunch of underbrush we go after is in the area of forgiveness. Jesus taught us to pray in the model prayer, forgive us our trespasses as or with the same measure that we forgive others. And you and I build up a lot of resentment and unforgiveness in our lifetimes because we have not been taught how to deal with this. And it's not optional, by the way, that you forgive people who hurt or disappoint you. And the right or wrong involved in the hurt is not important. I mean by that, we must forgive them even when they don't deserve forgiveness, especially when they don't deserve forgiveness. A lot of people, you say, well, it was really my fault, so I can forgive them for what they did. That's very generous of you. But when it comes to forgiving somebody who does us hurt or causes us deep disappointment, and it isn't our fault, and it's mostly their fault or all their fault, we feel very justified in saying, well, I'm just not going to forgive them. And we talk to our friends, and they say, I don't blame you. So we feel very righteous about the whole thing, but until we come to the model prayer. And Jesus said we must forgive. It's not optional. It's absolutely essential that you forgive people who've hurt or disappointed you. Now, I want to show you how to forgive people tonight if you don't know how. And then from now on, be sure that you do it when people hurt or disappoint you. It's amazing how many people go through these services, and then 6 months later I meet them and they've built up another stack of resentments because they didn't take care of those things as they happened. As long as we live on this earth, there are people who are going to hurt or disappoint us. Now, hurt and disappointment comes from those who are close to us. Those who are distant from us can seldom hurt us deeply and bounce us around a little bit, but the people who really hurt us are the ones that we're close to. Mothers and fathers hurt children. And you say, oh, well, Mom and Dad, they're great people, they didn't ever hurt me. Now, that wasn't the way you always felt. When you were little, they hurt and disappointed you. And if you haven't dealt with those disappointments, then it's entirely possible you have a festering root of bitterness in you that will defile your whole experience. And you won't know where the problem is coming from. And you need to get rid of it just like you need to get rid of a rotten tooth, because it'll poison your whole system. Forgiveness is not optional. You must forgive those who have hurt or disappointed you in the past. Mothers and fathers disappoint children. Children disappoint the parents and cause deep hurt and disappointment. Husbands and wives hurt each other. Ex-husbands and ex-wives are experts at this sort of thing. And close friends, close relatives hurt and disappoint each other. Preachers hurt people. People hurt preachers. Teachers sometimes are good candidates for hurting people. But whatever the hurt or disappointment that has come to you as a result of somebody else's actions, words, or deeds, you must forgive them. You say, but they don't deserve forgiving. That may be very true. Let me ask you this. Did you deserve for Jesus to forgive you when He saved you? Have you ever deserved His forgiveness since then? Have you ever deserved His forgiveness a single day of your life since you were born again? And yet you and I have claimed that forgiveness, haven't we? I hope we have. 1 John 1:9. If we confess our sin, He's faithful and just to forgive us our sin and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. But we claimed forgiveness we did not earn, right? As the old song said, He paid a debt He did not owe. He also forgives us of things we do not deserve forgiveness for. Do you ever analyze how many dumb and stupid things you do? It's easier to analyze somebody else's dumb and stupid things, but I mean, did you ever do yours? Huh? We really just stick our head in the lion's mouth a lot of times when the enemy is moving against us. And we need to learn to accept the fact that we are the recipients of undeserved forgiveness. Now, the Lord Jesus wants us to enter into the experience of that kind of grace, whereby we extend that to somebody else. You say, ew, that's hard. That's right, and that's why He wants you to do it. You and I need, because of the grace of God shown toward us, to be forgiving and loving toward those who have hurt and disappointed us. And if we're not willing to do that, then we're going to give roots for unforgiveness, bitterness, and resentment to take in our old sin nature. By the way, that's where the demons operate. They operate in the old sin nature, and you are providing the kind of fertilizer they grow best in. When you provide them with some fodder, I just hate her, I can't stand her. You old hussy, took my husband. That old reprobate cheated us out of all our money. You're going to have to forgive them. It's not worth what it's costing you. The luxury of holding that unforgiveness, resentment, bitterness in your heart is costing you so much it's not worth it at all, friend. Tell you something else. You're going to have to ask the Lord to bless them. You say, whoa, back up. No, wait. Now, I was going along with you pretty well till then, preacher, but forget it. That old hussy grabbed somebody else's husband since she got mine. She's still on the trail. That old man's still rooking everybody out of everything they've got. But you see, the problem is you don't know what God means by blessing. If a person is unsaved, what's the best blessing that God could give to them? Are you really so angry with them you don't want them to get saved? Oh, you say, well, that's different. I hadn't thought about that. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, bless what they're doing. No. When you ask God to bless somebody, you don't ask Him to bless what they're doing. The blessing they need is what He'll give them. You say, yeah, but the one I know of professes to know the Lord. How about them? What's the best blessing that an erring child of God can have? To be brought back to the Lord? Are you so angry with them you don't want them to come back to the Lord? You say, well, no. The Lord, drag them over a few roots as you get them back, No, we're too ugly in our spirits yet to decide how it's done. Let's just leave it up to the Lord how He brings them to Himself. I've had people, they got that gleam in their eye when I said that. They thought, yeah, that'd be good. Slam them around good. Scare the daylights out of them. And then bring them back to yourself. Well, you just see it written all over. No. We just leave it to the Lord how He blesses them. Okay? That'd be better because I know when I was teaching school, we always had rules in the classroom, The first week, I told them I was the dragon. That was my nickname. That was because I ate children. You all see those little sixth graders sit there, their eyes pop up, and they go, hee, 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 hee. And I didn't laugh, and their little smile and just go. I told them I was old, ugly, cranky, and mean, and it took me years to get that way. And that if they got me upset, I would just be absolutely impossible to live with, and they're going to have to live with me 9 miserable months. And if they got me upset enough, I'd have a nervous spell right in the classroom. Now, they didn't know what that was, but they looked me over and